Not the pizza rolls. All right, let's start. All right, the stream has officially begun. Here I am. Cracker, what's up? You're having pizza rolls? Like the Totino's pizza rolls? You know those don't actually have cheese in them, right? They're like made of glue or something. They're not great. I should be over here. Still getting used to the big camera. Wow. So, I have something to show you. Wait, I need to adjust something. Someone needs a stinger on this. So where is... Okay, stream. Just a second. I'm getting there. Is it movies? It is, okay. And the same with show. Okay, I'm ready. Great, here we go. Check it out. No, this. Aha! Hey, what's up? I finally updated this, and here I am. I'm little. I'm just a little guy. I'm just really happy that the lip sync is working, like, perfectly. Wow. And, whoop, don't mind me just walking through a table casually. Not a big deal. Right, chat? I'm Steve. I didn't see the Minecraft movie, so I don't know. Was that funny? Was that good reference? Am I one of the cool kids making the references? I'm not gonna watch that garbage. Unless it was fun. I hear it was fun. I'm not listening to any Tyler the Creator. I'm not doing it. Okay. Well, I'm so little now I have to like hop over to my chair. Ah. Yeah. All right. I'm not doing it. Everything's so huge now. Okay, I really need to fix the collisions here. Okay, so... Wait. Whoa! I'm breaking reality here. There's two of me. Accidentally revealed the cuter version. Well, this just isn't gonna work, is it? Well, there, see now everything is perfectly fine. Don't mind me, I'm just casually breaking reality. It's not a big deal. Okay, wait, can I? Oh, that's the ship. Camera 5, please. There it is. Let's see. We are... Oh, that's the chair. Yeah, it's fine. Okay? It's just fine. Alright, so let's open... Oh, I have to download it? I have to install it again? Wow. Walmart? No way I'm going to Walmart. I would I would break reality 100 times before I did that. I have a lot more room here. I don't want a desktop shortcut. How would you feel about some stream avatars? I have no idea where I'm gonna put them. But I was thinking maybe we could have some of this. Oh, and before the alarm goes off, I'm gonna take some pills. Don't mind me. VR chat. I bet I could recreate all of my spaceship in VR chat. Okay, so that's good to go. Tell you what, I should head back down to the bedroom or the office. It's not a bedroom. There's no bed in there. Okay, I'm headed back in an instant. Hey, here we are. Play VR and chat? VR chat on stream. I guess I could. I would want to do it in VR though, and I don't have a headset. Hey camera. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Okay, better. Gotta frame myself. Local data not found. Would you like to attempt? No. Let's just start all over again. With my streaming account? Sure. Look, that's a ton of permissions. Oh my god, look at all these. This will allow stream avatars to sell your home, change your legal name, authorized. To the custom bot account, you can use the same account. I think I will. I did have a separate bot account, but I don't think I want to use that anymore because it can just get confusing. Would you like to download the default? You know what? Yes. Because I think I might want to use a template. I think I'm going to do followers only. Just anyone in chat. Because what if you want to lurk? I want to welcome lurkers. Do you want the streamer to own everything in the stream avatar shop without having to? Yes. A sleepover does sound good. Oh, there's so much. I just want to get right to designing some little sprites. Avatars? Okay, cool. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. So it looks like we have two separate sprites here. Wake up, baby. Alright, cool. I should be able to just open this with Pixelorama and have no problems. What? I just want to know what you are. From Puyo Puyo. Okay, I might need to adjust the pixels a little bit. The frames. These are 4x4. $32. Alright, cool, perfect. I can do layers. Okay, so now I think it would be cute if everyone could have their own little spacesuit like I have. So if we go here, one of these is the spacesuit. But everything's white. Oh no, what have I done? There I am. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to redo this entire thing. Because she's not at the correct angle. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to redo the whole thing. But that's okay. Let's start up here. I think I kind of want to make this really large. But I want to leave room for like hats and stuff. Okay, I think that's going to be my basic shape. And my question is, do I need like a particular color or anything? Or can I... Okay, so there's a palette editor. I feel like there's a lot I need to learn. I'm really afraid I'm gonna do this wrong, and I'm gonna have to redo a lot of work. Well, let's just quickly let's do a basic looking guy here. Just be straight up white. I'm gonna sort of keep it the same proportions as this default thing. Sort of make it easier to customize. Orange, hello! Playing Minecraft, sweet. Everything's Minecraft now. Which is good. I love Minecraft. This needs to be much thinner. Okay, that's our base sprite.
Always in my mind, I seem to feel the creature is lurking somewhere close at hand.
You're gonna lurk, enjoy your lurk. Okay, so hold on, what is this? Is this the walking animation? Yeah, walk. What a weird looking walk. I don't get it. Yeah, that sure is walking. This doesn't look like regular animation frames to me. Very strange. Are these the same? These look exactly the same. Is it the same frame? I'm very confused. Stream avatars, can you like demonstrate how this works? Okay. So we're up in the air taking our steps. And then the standing frame is just the in the middle. Okay. Okay, and with some clever sprite work, maybe. Nope. I thought I could just change a couple of lines and it would make all the sense in the world, but it just doesn't. Okay, that looks okay. There's my basic walk. Hear that? It's ads time. You're gonna get some ads. Oh, this set looks really weird. What did it look like before? Also weird. That works. I'm okay with that. Why are there two of them? Are they the same spray? They look exactly the same. Okay. Oh, jumping. I think I can just copy this. But let's bring the arm up a bit. Wow, what's all that? Attack? Looks like a little... It's like a little shimmy and then a little punch. I don't know. Oh, there's so much of this. I don't think we're gonna get to like actually making anything usable today. I think we're just gonna be working on this template. Yeah, chill day. We could do this, or we could like watch videos too, or do whatever. You guys want to do anything in particular? Because I'm feeling very lazy. I'm gonna have a busy week. And watch. That could be fun. Watch videos. What do we want to watch though? Because like, I don't know. What would be fun? Chat, you're in charge. We can watch anything you want. I'm just checking me some YouTube. The problem is a lot of my recommended videos are about the news, which lately has not been fun. Or it's a bunch of trans stuff. Hey, how would you feel about watching a video about Super Mario Bros. 3, which is one of my favorite video games ever? Alright, I'm gonna bring this over. That should be the corner of the screen. No. Okay, that looks just about right. Just need to bring it up here. And not have Windows make it full screen. Let's resize this. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Wait, where'd it go? I can't find anything. 2 screens is too many for someone with as much ADHD as I have. Right. Displaced Gamers. I've never heard of this channel before, but we're gonna check out this video.
These games are not identical. Both cartridges contain a USA release of Super Mario Bros. 3 for the original NES, but there are differences between the two on both the outside and the inside. Brothers is in different places. Under the Nintendo seal of quality, one cart has a trademark symbol and the other has a registered trademark symbol. And the most important difference is the text at the bottom of the two labels. NES UM USA. This writes.
Okay, we are in for a treat because this guy is not. He is very thorough. Every little teeny tiny detail. It's like, yes, I can see that the lettering's in different places. Oh, but we're gonna see everything.
Inside cartridge has an extra -1 after it. It is considered to be revision 1 of Super Mario Bros. 3 and contains changes to the game's code and data when compared to its earlier counterpart, revision 0. We know some differences thanks to observations of gameplay, but finding other changes requires a dive into the bytes inside the ROMs. What changed and when did it happen? We're gonna find out. Let's establish a timeline for the NES Mario 3 cartridge's USA release. If you were around at the time, you know that Mario 3's arrival was a pretty big deal. As for acquiring the game at launch in the States, pre-orders weren't really a thing. You just had to call around and hope someone had the game in stock. The documented release date would appear to be February the 12th, 1990, according to Nintendo's own website. I bought this Revision 0 copy at launch. I can't quite remember the exact date I picked it up. It was maybe very early March.
Let's see, I think I was very young. I was a toddler, so I don't remember this coming out, but I remember playing it a lot. Very formative. I think I learned how video games worked from playing this.
I remember playing it heavily during spring break. Nintendo Power, the subscription-based advertisement service for Nintendo, released a Mario 3 strategy guide in June of 1990, and it contains some variations in terms used within Mario 3. Perhaps the most interesting is the subject of Kuribo's shoe. Who is Kuribo? After completing World 2, the princess sends a letter stating that you can stomp on enemies using Kuribo's shoe, or at least that is what it says in my copy of the game. In the Revision 1 release, she instead writes Goomba's shoe. Kuribo is the Japanese name for Goomba, and of course when we stumble upon the shoe in World 5-3, it is in use by a Goomba. So among the changes we receive in this newer release is a name correction for the shoe's owner.
It's one of my favorite items in all of Mario,
and
I think it's because it's only in one level in one game,
as well as on the strategy page for World 5-3.
Until like Mario Maker.
Curiously, the earlier pages of the strategy guide list the shoe as Kuribo's Goomba. Kuribo's shoe is mentioned in the description, but goodness knows what happened here. You'd think that the revised release took care of business. There, we fixed the name. This was not the case. 1993's Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo reverted to the original mistake, if you'll allow that word. In fact, All-Stars seems to be based on the Revision 0 script. More on that later. By the way, the original Famicom release of Mario 3 mentions the shoe in the letter at the end of World 3. The text was localized for both the World 2 and the World 3 letters of the Famicom version, but the arrival times in the game were swapped.
What? World 3, World 2. Because you get it in...
How is this relevant? Well, I'm glad you asked. When
I don't know what's going on.
2003's Super Mario Advance 4 was released for the Game Boy Advance, the princess's letters were switched back to their original world placement used in the Famicom version, and the localization uses Goomba's shoe once again. 1988, 1990, 1993, 2003. When was Rev 1 of the NES cartridge released? Perhaps now would be a good time to dive into the cartridges and find out, and I mean that literally. If we open my Rev Zero launch cartridge from March 1990, we can get some information from the markings on the program ROM and the character ROM chips contained on the PCB. Notice the NES UM0 markings on both of them, therefore Revision 0. We also have date codes. The program ROM reads 8952, the 52nd week of 1989, and the character ROM reads 9003, the 3rd week of 1990. This tells us when the ROMs were manufactured. Other chips on the PCB have dates that get us closer to when the cartridge itself was perhaps made, but let's stay focused on the ROMs. If we dump their contents, we can obtain a checksum for each of them. A checksum is a calculation based on the contents of the ROMs. Their values serve as an identity of sorts.
Y'all know what's going on?
Checksums as a value to compare these contents to those of the Revision 1 ROMs. So let's set them aside and examine the Revision 1 cartridge contents. This should help us start to build a timeline of release. NES UM1 on the program ROM and NES UM0 on the character ROM. Looks like the program ROM was changed when we moved from Revision 0 to Revision 1, but the graphics data in the character ROM remained the same. The checksums for both these ROMs validate this when compared to the checksums from Revision 0. The character ROMs match, and the program ROMs do not. What about the timeline? Well, the date code on the program ROM is hilarious. I believe this mask ROM was manufactured by Panasonic, and their date codes are like fun little logic puzzles. Assuming I am correct, the manufacturing date is 0 for 1990. The 6 means June. Panasonic divides any given month into thirds and indicates which third of the month manufacturing took place using symbols. A line below the number means the last third. This means we start with the number 21 and add the single digit contained in the date code after the month, the number 1.
Cookies and cream chapstick.
It would seem, and you chip experts can validate this, that the program ROM was manufactured on June the 22nd, 1990. Note that the MMC3 mapper chip appears to have been made during week 32, early to mid-August. The CIC security chip looks like it was made at the end of August, week 34. So perhaps this cartridge was made at the end of summer of 1990. We don't know for sure, but we do know that the software update was provided to manufacturing before June 22nd. USA Super Mario Bros. 3 received its update the same year it launched. With 2 cartridges, we only have 2 dates to compare for each ROM type. However, I happen to have a third cartridge to examine. Let's open it up and check it out. This one is also Rev Zero. Both the program ROM and character ROM were manufactured during the second week of 1990, a couple of weeks after the program ROM for my original copy was made. That doesn't get us much closer to June to narrow that gap that bridges Rev 0 to Rev 1. In terms of first-hand analysis, this is all I have, 3 carts. What about third-party data? The NES Cart database is a great website to obtain chip information, and many entries exist for Mario 3. Let's include them and sort by program ROM date. The latest date of manufacturing for Revision 0 here would be the 10th week of 1990.
I have to go to the DMV soon.
Launch. The earliest date of manufacturing for Revision 1 here looks like week 24 of 1990. So the change in manufacturing took place sometime between March.
They close at 5, which is when I'm done with work. But if I leave work early, I can get to the DMV on my way back
and the cartridge labels.
and do all the stuff I need to do.
Could certainly open yours up and
Although they will be angry at me for like showing up at the last minute, like right before they close.
Probably hit stores in summer
But
1990. If you got Mario 3 for Christmas that year, it was very
they open at 8:30. That's
one. But let's get back to
what.
the game itself.
Why am I frozen?
Changed. Perhaps
Well,
the
I'm
most
very
significant
frozen.
issue with
What
Rev
is going
0
on?
The line "miss twice and you're out" during the instructions for the
Okay, I'm
stage
back.
match game. This was changed to "you can only miss twice" in Rev 1. Obviously,
Hold
there
on.
isn't enough space to correct the word to YOU''R.
Hold on, sorry.
They reworked the third line in the text.
I got really bored for a few minutes, but now interesting stuff is happening again, and I really like this. This is one of like the most interesting things in a video game to me. Let's start over.
But let's get back to the game itself. What else changed? Perhaps the most infamous issue with Rev 0 is the line "miss twice and you're out" during the instructions for the spade match game. This was changed to "you can only miss twice" in Rev 1. Obviously, there isn't enough space to correct the word to YOU''RE.
And I wonder if it was the wrong "your" on purpose because they didn't have enough room. Because that would have been pretty clever, but the correction they made was also like even more clever. Because not only is the correction grammatically correct, they managed to fit everything in.
So they reworked the third line in the text box. No big deal. As for Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, well, I mentioned earlier that it seemed to have used the Rev 0 script as a base, and the spade match game is no exception. How embarrassing.
No excuse there.
As for Mario Advance 4 for the GBA, the text from NES Revision 0 was used and corrected. So this was a grammar fix. Nothing to do with localization of terms in this case, but there is a lot to do with localization in our next set of changes. After rescuing the princess, the game showcases art and maps from all 8 worlds. Each world has a name, and these names did anything but stay the same in Mario 3 releases over a period of the game's first few years. Even the Mario 3 strategy guide took some liberties. Once you get past
Why
Grassland
is
or
that?
World 1, it starts...
It's so weird. Like they all had like unique names to begin with, but then they made them boring. So Desert Hill becomes Desert Land, Big Island becomes Giant Land. Everything's just land in the revision, and it doesn't make sense to me.
I really dig Kupahari Desert for World 2. These changes, Kuribo Shu, You're Out, and the world names are well known, but they aren't all the changes made for the Rev 1 release of the game. How do we find out what else changed? Just keep playing the game and look for differences? That seems like finding a needle in a haystack. Well, it all comes down to bytes. Whatever changes were made from Revision 0 to Revision 1 are present in the ROM. Changes aren't just going to materialize out of thin air, those bytes are here. Let's use just the extracted program ROMs and do a file comparison between them using a hex editor. Every single byte that is different between the two ROMs is illustrated here. While this list of differences includes every change, it doesn't help us.
Oh, he's going to lose me again.
However, when we pair it with an emulator's debugger window for a given revision of
I
Mario
am lost
3,
already.
we can locate the bytes inside the game's disassembled code and data. Here is the list of every single byte changed between the two ROM revisions, courtesy of our hex editor. The grammar fix, the mention of Kuribo Shu in the princess's letter, and the world name changes occur at these locations, shown in decimal. They are all lettering changes for words, and this basically means the tile IDs used for the graphics changed for the associated screens. There's a lot more that changed in the ROM besides just these three things. These other areas may seem like a ton of changes to investigate, but hold your horses. When changes are made to assembly code and the program is reassembled, the addresses of various subroutines or blocks of data are going to change. One example would be the location of the jump handler subroutine. In Revision 0, it is located at address FE92. In Revision 1, it is located at address FE99, 7 bytes later than it used to be. The code is identical, but the location in the ROM is different. What this means is that every single call to this subroutine that exists elsewhere in the ROM needs to have this address changed. As for this example and the bytes in our comparison, all of these locations in the ROM are just references to the jump handler's address. All of them are just a change from 9.2 to 9.9. Obviously, many other byte changes had to occur for various other subroutine calls besides the jump handler. If we were to eliminate all of those instances from our byte comparison list, there wouldn't be much left, except for one thing. A difference in a few lines of code that are used to build the status bar on the bottom of the screen. How curious. Programmers take a bug and find a fix for it. We are going to take a fix and find a bug. Time to get technical. NES VRAM provides enough space for 2 screens worth of background information. The values in VRAM represent the tile IDs that make up a given background, called a name table. Let's label these two areas A and B. The system is designed to allow these 2 screens to be accessed via 4 sets of addresses. The emulator showcases the address layout paired with VRAM backgrounds like so.
Okay, I'm sorry. There must be people who find this interesting and can follow along. I am not one of them.
Depends on what we call mirroring, and you'll see vertical or horizontal mirroring used.
I kind of get it.
Horizontal mirroring will stack the 2 different screens on top of each other and mirror them horizontally. Vertical mirroring will line the 2 screens up side by side and mirror them vertically. Programming can choose a mirroring method and use the desired addresses to maintain background information and assist with scrolling. While a game like Super Mario Bros. Scrolls horizontally in a single direction and is therefore quite simple in this regard, Super Mario Bros. 3 has multi-directional scrolling and maintains a status bar at the bottom of the screen. It is a bit more complicated as mirroring and scrolling methods change often throughout gameplay. Complicated enough that perhaps the smallest oversight in one section of code would create a small bug. We need a more intimate understanding of backgrounds, mirroring, and scrolling in order to explain the bug, so let's look at a few games. I may black out addresses at times in order to make things easier to follow. Super Mario Bros. Uses horizontal scrolling, so we want the 2 screens in VRAM, A and B, to be side by side. They are therefore mirrored vertically for addressing purposes. This method allows tiles to be updated outside the scroll window before being scrolled onto the screen, as there is one full name table's worth of background tiles available outside the scroll window at any time. Metroid can scroll either horizontally or vertically. The mirroring method changes depending on the scrolling direction desired when you enter a new area. Horizontal mirroring allows the A-B screens to be stacked on top of one another as we move up this corridor. When we reach this point and enter the door on the right, the mirroring type changes to vertical so the screens line up side by side. This allows A and B to be used for horizontal scrolling. Now we can continue on our way and scroll left and right. So is mirroring just the opposite of scroll direction? Is that the crude explanation? Not quite. Ghosts and Goblins uses vertical mirroring.
I was hoping he'd be like, yes, it's that simple, let's move on.
Directions. What mirroring method do you use if you need to move horizontally and or vertically at any point in time? The game slaps new tiles down on multiple sides of the playfield as needed. You can see those new tiles written to the name tables as their rights appear in red on multiple sides of the scroll window with the game slowed down. G&G doesn't have the luxury of 2 extra screens worth of tiles on both the horizontal and vertical axes. Scrolling in multiple directions means programming had to be crafty with tile updates. As we move forward in time on the NES, we reach games that use the MMC3 mapper chip and the interrupt functionality that mapper provides. The interrupt allowed developers to render a playfield to one name table and a menu, for example, to the other. Mega Man 3 is designed to use the same mirroring type as the intended scroll direction. That means the addressing is set in such a way that a single screen scrolls onto itself. This frees up the second name table to hold the weapon selection menu that scrolls up from the bottom of the screen when you press start. The MMC3 mapper chip's interrupt allows the game to know when to stop rendering from one address block in VRAM while drawing to the TV and jump to another address block in VRAM to finish all the graphics for that frame. We covered this in the Mega Man 3 and MMC3 mapper episode. Screen jumping, or technically name table address jumping during rendering, is very relevant for Super Mario Bros. 3. Mario 3 has a status bar at the bottom of the screen at all times, including when scrolling occurs. Even though it is always there, the mirroring type, and therefore which name table holds the status bar, will change depending on where we are in the game. In World 1-1, horizontal mirroring is used. This allows for the level to be stacked 2 screens high. Mario can fly upward with multi-directional scrolling. The status bar is parked at the bottom of the second of 2 screens in VRAM, name table B. So in a standard stage like World 1-1, the status bar tiles are written starting at 2B00. The MMC3 interrupt tells the program when to jump from drawing the playfield to drawing the status bar. Let's call this the default method. Now the Spade games, on the other hand, use vertical mirroring. That means the status bar is drawn at the bottom of
I'm kind of going in and out. Like I kinda, sorta, kinda get it.
Starting at 2300.
I wish you were just like
the game still maintains a status
throwing
inside a specific
metaphor or something.
In VRAM, but
you know, it's kind of like a
which
burrito or
address
something.
used has changed versus what we used in World 1-1. Is that it? What else could
Is that
be?
this is the entire rest of the video, isn't it?
Was more or less a copy-paste from somewhere else. 7 new bytes of code were required for the change. How did they have the ROM space for this? At the end of the ROM, there are several bytes that contain the value FF.
Okay, let me explain the level of ADHD that is going on in my brain. So we're about 20 minutes into this video. I skipped ahead a little bit. 20 minutes in. I was expecting like, oh, here are all the differences between the 2 different versions of Super Mario Bros. 3, right? Had I actually read the title of the video behind the code version control, I probably would have been clued in to the fact that this is all about how the code works. So this is not this guy's fault at all. It's me. Anyway, we got a new viewer in just hanging out with us. And Orange, I don't think you were here at the beginning. I want to show you something real quick. And it's really cool. So check this out. In the blink of an eye, we're going to be changing realities and styles. So check this out. Hey! Oh, hey, thank you for following. Thanks for the follow. Hey, I got a new model on the bridge of the spaceship. And hey, check this out if you're wondering what's going on. In this particular moment, we are on a spaceship. This is where we're streaming from. And well, I'm a million times cuter right now. Yeah. That's the only change so far, but man, that's a big one. And because I'm not using the camera... Oh yeah, Return of the Living Dead. Man, there's a lot of cool stuff here on the bridge. I used to hang out here all the time, but then I'm like, let's do some cozier stuff down in the streaming room and in the editing room. I'm feeling the cozy vibes so far. Yeah, check it out. I got all kinds of video stuff. I'm a big cinephile, so there's lots of stuff there. By the way, are you getting ads? Let me know if you're getting ads. I feel like you probably are. Should I wait for the ads to be over? Shouldn't be too long, maybe a couple minutes. Yeah. Whoa. I gotta learn what all the buttons mean. I'm not used to switching cameras so often. All right. Anyway, yeah. Check it out. We got Famous Monsters with Zachary, one of the best horror hosts ever. Attack of the Crab Monsters. Some good old Roger Corman over there. Corpse Grinders. That's oh man, who was that? By the way, excuse me. Can I just... Don't mind me, I just need a good vantage point. I need to take a closer look, okay? Don't worry about me. Okay. Yeah, Ted V. Michaels, that's the guy. He's the one who directed that. Very weird movie. These guys make cheap cat food out of human bodies. And so, like, the cats get a taste for human flesh and they start eating people. And then those people become cat food for more cats, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, one day when I'm like the biggest streamer in the world, what I want to do is like movie nights every weekend. Like do that on Discord. Yeah, it's kind of the vibe I was going for, like 60s sci-fi or like 50s pulp magazines. I got the old base. I miss the old base. But I like the cozy vibes of the spaceship, and I'm going to cram as much of that in here as I can. Also on the TV over here, I got The Hypnotic Eye, which was a like public access TV show back in the 90s. Yeah, the spaceship, I kind of put it together very quickly, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna fill this up with a whole bunch of stuff eventually. I'm gonna finish up the decorating, but I never got around to it. So maybe one day on stream we'll start putting a bunch more stuff in here. Maybe some more snacks, because I need to update these snacks. There's not a whole lot there. Some more posters. Return of the Living Dead down there. Reanimator. Death Race 2000. Tell me you've seen Death Race 2000. One of Roger Corman's best movies. Oh, you gotta see this. Oh, I love this one, and I love the new one he did in what was it, 2015, something around then. Death Race 2050. Very good follow-up. Roger Corman was like 90, 91, something like that, ridiculously high up there, old age. but still making wonderful movies. Okay, I need to fix the collisions. Ugh, I'm not used to being tiny. Yeah, let's head back downstairs. Yeah, okay, where's that button? There it is. Look, we're back. Yeah, so this here is something new. I've been doing this for a few weeks, just hanging out down here. Get out of here, display capture. And I've been wondering what the best way to balance out the two styles of streaming is. I'm still working it out, so it's going to be a bit chaotic here for a little while. Can I call you Boom for short? Boom? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you've gotten yourself into. And by the way, I also make video games and comics. If we go to... No, not that. Let's go to Clara. Yeah, fine. This is my itch page. I have this game that I've been working on for the past couple of years, and it will be releasing this year in October. You explore this island, everything's in black and white, and you build stuff. There's the stuff you can build. And then here we are, building a thing with all of our pieces. And you just go around finding weird stuff and weird people. This October, yes, Orange. It has been so long, and I am so sick of working on it. There was a lot I was going to add. Well, thank you, WH page. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to add a whole bunch of stuff like a jukebox, the entire alphabet, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I kind of want to finish it up, get all the rough edges ironed out, and just release it. Letterboxd? I don't use Letterboxd. I've heard of it. I should jump onto it. There's something like that for games too. And I signed up for it, but I don't use it. So I'm hesitant to get back into Letterboxd. Exclamation point links takes you to this page, which gives you everything. We got me down here. Lovely young lady in the pink box. And there's you guys down there. YouTube Ko-fi. We have a Discord where people, not often enough, but people sometimes share their own creative stuff there, and I love to see it. And I got Blue Sky and... Okay, last thing I want to show you is my comic book, webcomic. They are real estate agents, and they have superpowers. So there. That's everything you would ever need to know about me. And now the question is, do we watch more videos? Or do we work on something and stop being lazy? Because I know what we should watch if we watch something. I know what to watch. What's it called? Oh yeah. What on earth is this music? I have no idea what JMR is. Quest for Glory? I'm not into this. This is like... Is that MIDI? It's like a MIDI cover of video game music. It sounds like stock music that I would use at my day job. Anyway, I want to watch a Boundary Break episode. And I know there are a few of these I haven't seen yet. Like, Hollow Knight? Simpsons Road Rage? Guys, pick one out. I don't know. I haven't seen most of these. Have I just been skipping every episode of Boundary Break? Or is YouTube not showing me these? Or am I not subbed? I am. I never played Road Rage. I played, what's the other one? The other good Simpsons game. There are like a million Simpsons games. But there are 2 or 3 good ones. There's the arcade game. Hit and Run, yes. I played Hit and Run quite a bit. But I never played Road Rage. Well, let's watch this one.
All the way past this barrier here that's at the very start of the level, you can find a whole bunch of stuff that goes completely unused. The most notable of which is a sign that's not used anywhere else in the game. It's a sign that says, soft shoulder, blind curves, steep grade, big trucks, good luck. Which is really neat, but it lends itself to an even cooler fact. The reason why these barriers even exist in the first place is apparently because all the maps in Simpsons Road Rage was supposed to connect together into one large map, but that was scrapped at some point during development. So that's why there's all these ridiculous barriers, as well as some stuff that you might be able to find out of bounds as a result of that. And that's not even the only texture that goes unused in Simpsons Road Rage that you can find out of bounds. Like, for example, inside the power plant, if you go inside the walls here, you can see Sector 7G written out on this texture here, which obviously is the sector that Homer works in. But like I said, is nowhere to be seen. This is all part of a texture sheet that just wraps around a piece of a model that the player's not supposed to see anyway. So you end up with this cool piece of unused content. And yeah, we're going to look at textures, and we're going to look at models, and we're going to look at all sorts of crazy stuff out of bounds in an ongoing series where we basically take the camera anywhere we want to try to find secrets and new discoveries to some of our favorite games. And like I said, today we're looking at The Simpsons Road Rage, a game that uses 2 completely separate models for all of its drivers. But why is that? Because one of these models has a lot more bone articulation that can be used for these cutscenes when you go to select your character. The other is just tied to a vehicle that has a lot of geometry in its own right.
Simpsons does not lend itself well to 3D.
But as a result of this rushed development, on top of the fact that it's a completely different model, you find a ton of major discrepancy between all the characters, and we'll get to that in a second. But the big weirdest thing of all is that during this character select screen, you can find the legs of the lower poly model of these characters combined with the higher poly models. So you get 2 sets of legs in almost every single vehicle that you'll see here.
That reminds me of something. That's something else we should watch after
this. The
this.
of course, is that I just mentioned a second
I got a whole lineup now.
The character model for the vehicle is attached to that vehicle. And so what the developers did was that they just hid all the geometry of those characters and just kind of injected the cutscene model characters into the vehicle instead. But there's not as much of a reason to remove the feet because it doesn't get seen by the player anyway. All the car doors to all the characters essentially hide that. Speaking of things that are hidden, how about Moe's Panda? Which, you know, that wasn't something I was expecting to say in 2025. But yeah, there's a model of a panda that just briefly has a cameo, and only in this character select screen. I think the big question is, where does it come from and where does it go? And how much of this panda is modeled? You can see that it kind of just pops into existence and pops out as well. But the model for the panda is complete. Also, very interestingly, the trunk door for Moe's car is made into a separate model that is placed on top of the car. The outline for the trunk door on Moe's car is still there. It's not affected because it's not actually a trunk door that is remotely functional. But from the default camera position, you'd never be able to guess. It all looks perfectly seamless. And then here's something I feel like I've never seen on Boundary Break. It's the shadow for all the vehicles and they handle this in a very strange way. So the shadows work just fine on the surface of whatever the vehicle is casting on, but below the environment itself, there seems to be a 3D model of the vehicle you're using, but shadowfied. This has to be one of the most unusual developer techniques I've ever seen. And on top of this too, if you look very, very closely, you can see the shadow connecting to the vehicle itself, almost looking like marionette strings. Next up, I want to show you the discrepancy between
I've never
those
seen
two
anything
models
like
of
that.
the driving model and the cutscene model that we talked about earlier. One of the weirdest changes was Reverend Lovejoy. On the cutscene model, he just has his pink shirt and tie, but in-game, he has like that cardigan thing going on. Out of all the characters, I'd say that this is probably the most egregious one. Because,
Cardigan?
again, we've got a complete outfit change between the two models. Also, as a quick
As
little
she
bonus,
says,
taking the camera
never been to
behind his
church.
vehicle in the cutscene version can show you that it's not textured properly, so you see a lot of black here. You can also see that the pile of the books is actually completely different. It's a lot larger.
It looked better.
than the cutscene
Well,
model
I
as
mean,
well.
we are
Yeah,
getting
the
a closer
craziest
look than
changes
we were
between the two
ever
models,
meant
at least
to.
in terms of quality, at least, is ground
I mean, that
scaling
looks
is
good
really
from
the cutscene version
that
is
far away.
properly colored, and the model looks fantastic, frankly. But in game, it is just a completely different story. His overalls are not only just one shade completely different from the show, but 2 shades different. So the upper torso has this dark blue, and his pants have a light blue. Clearly one of the most rushed models in the whole game. Then here's 2 very interesting differences for Chief Wiggum. Taking the camera behind Chief Wiggum during the character select screen, you could see that one of the tries on his face gets dragged and shoved down below, but it's out of the player's view, so it's okay. It's not all that distracting when you don't move the camera. But here's the real kicker. I want to show you the big difference between his cutscene.
I know how to
model and his
fix that, and I
in-game
want to go
model.
fix
The
it.
piece inside of his holster is pitch black, and his nose just has no nostrils whatsoever for the cutscene model. But in-game, his piece is gray, and his nose has a very, very high-res texture for some reason for the nostril. And then weirdly, Rabbi Hyman Krastovsky has something going on with his character model that I guess got overlooked by the developers. If you take the camera up to his arms, you can see that he has 4 arms, likely meant to represent 2 levels of detail, but they just never load in or load out. It's just always like this. Also, he has Minecraft legs underneath his outfit. They're like completely square. And next, for a rare move for this game, there's an open window that allows you to see inside of a room. Taking the camera inside will show you the classroom that Bart usually does chalkboard writings for. And the chalkboard says, "This is not a clue, ... Or is it?" But also what I find really interesting too is the picture next to the chalkboard is unique. It seems to be a gray-haired gentleman facing off to the right. And then for this power plant console, I saw that it had writing on it for some reason, so I wanted to take the camera up and see what it said. And someone was just mashing on the keyboard here. If you want me to read it out for you,
come on.
fine, I will.
It should say Luigi is real or something.
Fast-fed, H-Dad, and has HJJH. You're welcome, Internet. Now, this next one was a bit disappointing for me because I was like, ooh, level of detail, I love this. And so all the characters in Simpsons Road Rage have billboard versions of themselves before you get close enough and they turn into big, real versions
Noob,
of themselves.
welcome
But
back.
sadly for me, but
You
great
finally
for all
got
of you,
that new,
there's a cheat code where you can see
that new
these
name.
up close and use them as the passengers you can take around Springfield. So it's not terribly exciting for me to
And
show you
yo.
all this. I guess there are characters
Welcome
that
on
you
in.
never take into your vehicle like Laureline Lumpkin. But while I was expecting myself to have some of the greatest content to put on YouTube, I was collecting this footage of Seymour Skinner and it allowed me to see the character model up close, and I realized that his pupils are not modeled. You can actually see through his face and past his skull if you look inside of his pupils. Because again, that modeling doesn't exist. Why doesn't it exist? There is a really solid chance that too many tries went into the pupil, and so to save on resources, the developers would hope that you wouldn't notice that the pupils are missing entirely. This actually happens in several instances, like Reverend Lovejoy's character select screen model. In fact, you can see that his eyeballs is semi-transparent, which is really surprising. And the same exact thing could be said for Moe's character select model.
They probably have black behind them, so it would save on
But then there's
resources.
characters that just sort
Not
of
to do
defy
that?
all the logic of all the other characters, like Ned Flanders.
Why
here.
am I
Take the
doing the
camera up to
Simpsons
his
thing?
Passenger model.
'Cause
to
I'm
show you
lazy
his
today.
eyeballs that have no pupils whatsoever.
I just don't feel
Kind
like
of
working.
demonic here, which I guess
So we're
is
just
appropriate
watching
for certain
videos.
episodes of the show. And then funny enough, on the loading screen, you can manipulate the animation that Bart has playing the video game on his TV. And if you do, you can place it over the Simpsons Road Rage logo, and you can see exactly where these collection of images are actually supposed to camouflage with the dark void. And then I wanted to zoom the camera out here to show you this large piece of environment just to show you how the game world works. See, it does use culling, and the way the culling works is that it culls out large chunks of the game world. So as long as you're facing in a certain direction, the game will give you a giant square to look at, which is honestly something great to ask for when you're playing these old school games on a 16:9 aspect ratio screen, because there won't be culling to your immediate left or right when you decide to do that. Here's another character model oddity here with Grandpa Simpson. If you take the camera up to his model, you can see that one of his eyeglass pieces is opaque, while the other one is just missing its lens. This was probably done to show off Abe's right eye better to the player. I would say that there's a solid chance that this wasn't a mistake. Also, before we move on, I just want to show you the character select screen itself and how the background is all 2D and it quickly gets off its axis and leaves you with this 3D render of the road. Just thought it would be neat to show you the perspective shift between how it's supposed to look versus how it looks here. And then one of the very few cutscene rooms that are actually rendered in game is Mr. Burns' office. So taking the camera around and showing you what's up with it can show you that the word floor is written on that switch that he uses as one of the endings of the game. And also that there's walls on almost every corner of this room except for the one that's facing Mr. Burns. This is likely so that the camera that is pointing at Mr. Burns won't be obstructed by the wall that we placed there. Also interesting to note that Krusty has a shared model with Homer. So with this model here, you can see that it's just Homer's model with hair added to the sides and top of his head.
And
Nose, however, is
I'm gonna
just
like
Homer's
saying that
nose
name
painted red.
a lot
And also,
more.
he's not colored quite right, so it almost looks like his crusty 5 o'clock shadow.
How's my week so
Just
far?
not quite the
Very
greatest
busy.
model in the game. By contrast, you can see that the cutscene model of Krusty has a proper nose, and that his 5 o'clock shadow has a much more distinct color than the rest of his face. Also, when you select Snake on the character select screen, his car goes all over the place, but most of it's off screen.
I have big
just wanted to
news,
show
but I
you what that
can't
looks like
show
from another
you.
angle. And it's very surprising to share that the entire cutscene is pretty much animated except for Chief Wiggum's. His car model just sort of stops when it gets off screen. Also, weirdly, with this cinder block in the power plant, if you take the camera inside, you can see a lone radioactive barrel. Why it's here, I have no idea. I'd be very curious to see what would happen if you hit that barrel, because it feels like the
This is
developers
almost over
had to
anyway.
make sure that a game-breaking bug or something had to be contained inside of this block. Or maybe it was just a little joke that the developers themselves were playing, that where they're trying to contain radioactive material inside of stone blocks, which is something that happens.
Free or
And
straight
that's
for
all I
both.
got for now. Make sure you check out the Patreon if you want to.
For both. Let's bring the music back on, so we're not in silence. So, big news for the stream. I finished this, so I can very quickly switch over here. So now I'm cute little cartoon Clara. Well, yeah. How about that? Take that. Clara VTuber, indeed. Like full VTuber, like no face cam or anything. Just VTuber. And this is completely modeled by me too, so it's not like, it's not like I was using whatever programs that everyone else uses. It's all me, baby. So that's that. Other big news is I got my social security card. So, wait, Vamp, I actually haven't seen Vamp. Do we want to go through my movie collection again? Guys, what movie would you like to see if we did a movie night? What's the first movie we should watch? Social Security. It's like one of the main government records things that has your name on it, and I got mine updated. So, Shin Godzilla, good pick. I have been wanting to watch that again, so maybe we'll do that. I'll need to get a copy though. Wait, where are the vampire movies? Space, zombie. Okay, vampires, yeah. Or Look Back. Wait, what's Look Back? I don't know Look Back. I don't know that one at all. Also, another thing, I should probably get some facial expressions for this. It probably wouldn't be too hard. The Grave of the Fireflies. Never again in my life am I watching that movie. Nope. Jeez. All right, let's look through these. It has to be one of these movies, ones that I would actually want to watch. Oh my God, we could watch Lost Boys. I'll watch that over and over again. But I kind of want to watch something you guys are not likely to have seen. Wait, Expect No Mercy. Hold on. Which way am I walking? Oh my God. I need to change cameras just to... Hold on, I think I have a zoom button anyway. Wait. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Captain Kronos. Like, I think we should watch something like this. Fritz Has No Ass? Well, this isn't Fritz. This is, I forget this guy's name. Yeah, but the Bickle people do not have, buttocks. I can't explain how they work. But, you know, it's a whole other kind of existence. Listen Boys, compilations. Oh, that would be fun. Just watch a compilation. There's one I really want to... Not... Hold on. It was kind of anime. Like, it was an anime. It was a Japanese studio. You know Rankin and Bass, who did, Thundercats and... all those Christmas movies. Yeah, they did this. It's The Hobbit. They also did Return of the King, but they skipped over Lord of the Rings and The Two Towers, which were done by Ralph Bakshi in a completely different style. So the history of these animated Hobbit movies is complicated, but fascinating. Is it good? Yeah. I love this. I love this one, and I love the Return of the King one they did. I'm not a fan of Ralph Bakshi, so I don't like the other ones, but this one I like a lot. A very weird claymation movie. Liquid Television, which was all the animation shown on MTV. Weird stuff. I like stuff that's really weird. Oh, Tenchi. Any of you see Tenchi? Fantastic. I don't think I've actually seen this one. Half the movies I haven't seen. I think one of the movies we should watch for movie night is one I haven't seen. Let's prioritize that. Because I want to show you guys cool stuff, but I've been lacking. I haven't seen anything new in a long time. I've been watching like YouTube and Twitch. I'm kind of wasting my time, really. Let me zoom out. I think we can see this well enough. Yeah. Two different copies of Robot Monster. They're both cool covers. Yeah, maybe we'll watch Fantastic Planet. Check that out. Wait. Are there like boobs and stuff in Fantastic Planet? Well, hey, it's a movie night, so we can be a little more loose. We don't need to worry about censorship. Censorship. Got tongue-tied there. Yeah, because I always feel like to watch a movie, I need to like dedicate a lot of time to it, and it just feels like work a lot of times. I need to like set aside time, and doing a movie night would be a good excuse to do that. Oh, Quiet on the Western Front? What? I mean, I have seen that, but I mean, it was okay. It's just not something I'm into. What are you talking about? What? I ain't watching that. No way. No way. Not doing it. Castle Freak? I haven't. What is Castle Freak? I'm gonna have to look this up. Hold on. Sorry, the camera's whooping around all over the place. Okay, I'm going to the internet to check this out. Castle Freak. Oh, it's got Jeffrey Combs in it. Okay, I'm just about sold. Direct to video. Oh, Stuart Gordon. I know Stuart Gordon. Ads, by the way. Oh my god, what is this thing? Wait, 1995? That's a good time period for movies. Okay, I'm very into it. Wait, Barbara Crampton. Where do I know that name from? Barbara Crampton. I feel like I've heard of her before. Oh yeah, she was in Reanimator, so reunited. Oh, in Shopping Mall? And Space Truckers. Have I seen Space Truckers? Oh, and Puppet Master. Okay. Yeah, she's a big deal. Okay, yeah. That's one I would consider watching for a movie night. Now, unfortunately, I can't really do a movie night anytime soon. I had some disaster happen at work where my work laptop died, so I can't work from home anymore. So tomorrow I get to go into the office and waste a bunch of time. I'll wait for you to get back. I'm gonna hang out with Fritz for a minute. There we go. Blip, blip. From Beyond? I don't know if I've seen that one. You're back, welcome back. Anyway, I was saying, I'm going back downstairs to the editing room. I need a little quick button for that. I'm all the way over here. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, my work laptop is dead, so I can't work from home anymore. I need to waste hours on the bus going into the office every day until they ship me a new laptop. So I might not stream this Friday, and I'm not sure about next week. And I'm going to try to make it at least one day next week. I'm kind of pushing myself to stream tonight, actually. So yeah, it sucks. I have like no free time. It's no, they didn't. They said we're ordering new laptops, and when we get them in, we'll ship you a new one. So it could be this week, could be next week, could be next month. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, next month. Well, now I'll try to make time at least once a week to stream, but I'm gonna be very tired. Yeah. I'll try to I'll try to make it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. But I want to prioritize the stream because this is important to me. Like, I want to... Yeah, money. I like streaming. I like being out there on the internet. And I want to make that happen. So I will find a way to make it happen somehow. But tomorrow, I mean, on the plus side, I get to wear cute outfits and go outside. I never go outside. So that's something. It's like an hour away from where I live. I get on a bus. I have to go into the city and wait downtown and wait for another bus. And the second bus takes me to my office. So it's a long commute just because I need to make connecting buses, and it's a lot of waiting, really. I don't go outside. Typically not. I'll go outside once a week to like go shopping or something. Yeah, it's real nice. I don't like leaving the house. Some people say, like, when COVID happened, a lot of people were like, oh, I miss going outside, I miss seeing people. I was like, nope, this is the dream for me. I love this. So I'm very lucky that I can work from home if I have a computer. So I'm thriving. This is all the world I need. It's just this one room. But it's going to be very difficult for a little while. Speaking of which, I should probably stop streaming right now. Hey, you'll get there. If you don't have a girlfriend, get yourself some stuffed animals. It's almost kind of good enough. Get yourself a... Which arm am I using? God. Get yourself a blowhigh. Gotta be with your kids, that's sweet. Well, I think most jobs can be done at home. I hope yours... I don't know. I feel like a lot of jobs were like, you have to come back to the office anyway, just because. No, it wasn't necessary. Yeah, my wife loves that I work from home. I get to hang out with her all the time. And she can just burst into my room and talk to me whenever I'm trying to get work done. And it's fine because I want to procrastinate and we'll have random conversations all day. It's great. My God, you guys are going to make me raid someone. Where are we going? Any, I think I know where we're going. Wait, who is this? I follow this person? How about Project Zomboid? Loading up. We've been rating loading artists like every week. I think I know where we're going. If he allows raids. Yeah, they do allow raids. Okay. Alright guys, we are going to be raiding very soon. And, oh hey, I can actually go to another screen when I end stream now. That's great. Yeah, Boom, it was great having you here. I'm glad you found me. And hopefully I'll see you next week. If not, then some point in the future, hopefully. You wanted to talk? Well, hey, I am on Discord, and I will eventually respond if you talk in the Discord. So, keep that in mind. All right, I'm out of here. The rating has begun, and I'll see you maybe next week. You're all very lovely. Good night, whatever you are. I had the wrong camera again. Jeez. Oh, you got shy. That's cute, but it's fine. I'm shy too. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Why did we get a loading stutter?